राम स्तुति रूपकता में। श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणं नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंज दारुणं श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणं नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंदर्पयागणित अमित छवि नवनील नीरज सुंदर पद पीत मानव गणित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर भजु दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्य वंशनि नंदनम रघुनंद आनंद नंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणं नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर सिर मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारु दारु अंग विभूषण आजानु भुज सर चाप धर राम जित धर भूषणं श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद इति वदति तुलसीदास शंकर शेष मुनि मन नंजनम मम हृदय कंज निवास कुरु कामादि कलदल नंजनम श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणं नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंज दारुणं श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणं। श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai 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 Jai Ram. Syamara Ramachandra ki Jai. Okay, so we are seeing Sundarkand. So I tell you, if you really look at this Ramcharitamanas, right? All the kandas, they have their name because of the situation which is going on there. Balkand is the childhood of Ram. And there is his birth and all that, right? Birth and childhood and all that. Balkand. So then naturally that kanda gets the name of Balkand. Bal means the child. Then Ayodhya Kand. He goes to Janakpur, gets married there, comes back and he settles down in Ayodhya. Settles down there now and then everything in Ayodhya seems to be fine. So that's what they call it Ayodhya Kand. Then he is now banished to the forest, Bhagwan Ram, by some ploy. You know that ploy or not? So then he goes to the forest, then that's called Aranya Kand, because Aranya means forest. So every Kanda has its name because of the situation. After that Aranya Kand, there comes Kishkinda Kand. He goes there further south and he meets Hanumanji Kishkinda. And that place was called as Kishkinda. So he gets the name. Now Sundar? Oh, what is relation of Sundar to anything going on there? No relation, see? Then Lanka. He goes to Lanka, there is Lanka Kand. Uttar means at the end. Huh? Ending portion and all. So every Kand has a name specific to the situation there. But this Sundarkand is like he's the odd one. Black sheep. So that we study a little bit. See why is Sundarkand is called a Sundarkand when everything else is given name situationally. Because of situation. Sundar is here describing the most Sundar thing in the universe. Sundar means beautiful. Huh? For those who do not know Hindi and all, Sundar means beautiful. So it is describing the most beautiful thing in the world. The most beautiful thing in the world is that relationship between Bhagwan and Bhakta. There is no other more beautiful thing than Bhagwan and Bhakta, that relationship. And the Sundarkand is describing that. That is why they call us Sundarkand. And what is so special about this relationship between Bhagwan and Bhakta? It is this. That Bhakta lives only for Bhagwan. His life is dedicated to Bhagwan. He does seva of the Lord. And that is the fructification or the ripening of bhakti. Anybody who claims that he is bhakta, I am great bhakta, this, that, and he doesn't do seva, his bhakti is yet green, unripe. And bhakti is very unripe. But bhakti is supposed to really ripen and metamorphosize into seva. Any bhakta, see, Hanumanji comes to this Lanka and he meets Vibhishan there. Vibhishan, great bhakta of Ram. Great bhakta of Ram. But Sita ji was kidnapped and brought to that same Lanka and Vibhishan was not doing anything. So he claims to be bhakta of Ram but not doing anything for Ram. He sits there. He knows where Sita ji is also. He does nothing. See, no seva. That means his bhakti had not yet ripened. See? So there, of course we'll come to that just now. But I'm just giving you indications of bhakti has to ripen. I'm a great devotee of this one and that one and then I do nothing. We need some time. They put some chemical, to ripen the fruits. You must be knowing.
Ethanol gas.
Ethanol gas, correct. They put some ethanol gas. I tell you, ethanol gas in this language which we are speaking here now is satsang. Ethanol gas is satsang. It will make our bhakti ripen. When no satsang is there, bhakti, and it doesn't matter. The person may be any type of great jnani, karma yogi, bhakta, whatever, if he doesn't attend satsang, none of those things will ripen. They will not bear any fruit. That's why sometimes many people with a lot of book knowledge and all. Know all Gita, memorize this, memorize that, know all kandas, can chant also. But that thing will really take root and it will really become part of that person, and all that happens in satsang. Satsang is where, I tell you, see, when in consumption of food, those who have doctor knowledge tell you that process. There is ingestion, ingest, then digest, then absorb, assimilate, then they metabolize, and then manifest. That process, that food gets manifested as activity, talking, walking, study, this, that, working. So the process is there. From ingestion to manifestation. Food manifests as energy for us to do things. That satsang is the thing that is responsible for the digestion and assimilation, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and all of all our knowledge and devotion and everything. If we just collect them, they will be like undigested food. How your stomach feels when indigestion is there. You eat food and no digestion. Terrible thing. So in satsang, that everything will become digested. At one place, Kabirdaji is Kabirdaji, right? Binu satsanga, kubati nahi chute. Without satsang, all dementations and agyan and all such things of the mind will never go away. And please remember, a great jnani also will have a jnana. Because one who has a lot of knowledge, that doesn't mean to say that he has become realized. A person may memorize all Shastras and all Upanishad by heart also. But that doesn't mean to say he has become realized. He also will have a jnana. So that ajnana will never go away without satsang. Satsang still in Tulsidaji himself writes. You all know this verse and all. See. Binu satsanga vivek na hoy. Binu satsanga vivek na hoy. Ram kripa benu sulabh na soy. Ram kripa benu sulabh na soy. Binu satsanga vivek na hoy. Binu satsanga vivek na hoy. Ram kripa benu sulabh na soy. Ram kripa benu sulabh na soy. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. सब गाए. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Binu satsanga vivek na hoy. Ram kripa binu sulabh na soy. Without this satsang, vivek will never dawn. So the satsang is the most important thing. So I'm glad that we will be here for the next 5 days, including today 6 days. to join in this satsang. So good to see all of you have turned out. So that itself is a beautiful thing. And then Hanumanji is having satsang with Ram. Think how beautiful that will be. If satsang itself is the most beautiful thing described by our Shastras and all here, Hanumanji is having satsang with Ram himself. And then Vibhishan has satsang with Hanumanji. And then Hanumanji goes into the court of Ravan to have satsang with Ravan, but Ravan doesn't want satsang. Ravan likes kusang. Kusang is the opposite of satsang. Satsang means associate. Actually, one very simple thing you must remember about satsang. Satsang is where bhaktas meet to talk about Bhagavan. Do you remember this one definition? Bhaktas meet to talk about Bhagavan. Although usually people meet, they talk about himself only. Careful about that. That is called kusang. Kusang is when you talk about yourself. And one only has to start. When one starts and he's telling a story about himself, then the other one thinks, oh, my story is better, you keep quiet. Everybody likes to talk about themselves or not. That is called kusang. Yeah? So what's a simple distinction between satsang and kusang? हमारे हिंदी भाषा में कहते हैं कि साधु साधु से मिले होई ईश्वर की बात, गधा गधे से मिले होई लाटम लाट. Means when two sadhus meet, they talk about Ishvara. When two donkeys meet, they kick each other. So we should always meet only to talk about Ishvara, Bhagavan is best. So here, lot of satsang going on in this Sundarkand, and this satsang between Bhakta and Bhagavan, this is the best. It's called Sundar. Then I told you there's Seva he is doing. See, he is Parameshwar, Bhagavan Ram, and this is Paramabhakta, Hanumanji. So the meeting of these two is always Sundar. You see that meeting and that relationship is better than any relationship, I told her. Even that relationship is better than husband-wife relationship, parents-children relationship. All of these relationships are still lower in the ladder as compared to relationship between Bhakta and Bhagavan. Because that is called a primary relationship. Mukhya. Primary relationship between all of us. See, when you came here, you did not have wife and children and husband and didn't know, isn't it? But you had Bhagavan or not? And when you leave, you will not take wife and husband and children and father, mother did that. But when you leave, Bhagavan will still be there with you. So that is called a primary relationship. So that primary relationship is the most sundar relationship, most beautiful relationship. And if anybody keeps that primary relationship intact, if you treat that primary relationship well, between Bhakta and Bhagavan, means if you become a good Bhakta of the Lord, all the other relationships will be fine. All the other relationships will follow well. Our problem is we try to make the other relationship well without making this primary relationship well. It will not work. Make the primary relationship the best. The others will follow as a matter of course. Naturally they will follow. You will not have to make any effort. You see? But we work on the secondary things and we forget the primary thing. You notice that all relationships that break up, people only think about them. It's so selfishness only is the cause of breakup of relationship. Any relationship that breaks up, the root is selfishness. That means that primary relationship with Bhagavan was not there. I was only thinking of me. In Aranyakand, he said that is self is Maya. Thinking only about me. Me yaru more tortai Maya. Me and mine, you and yours, that is Maya. So now, first thing then, why this is called a Sundarkand? Because it is the relationship between Parama Bhakta and Parameshwar. That is the most beautiful relationship in the universe. Then second thing, see here. The first half of this Sundarkand describes Hanumanji, the glories of Hanumanji. And the second half of Sundarkand describes the glory of Prabhu Shri Ram. So half and half, like that. Huh? So the description of Bhakta and description of Bhagavan. Now, that Bhakta who is described there, right, is Kapi Hanuman. And Bhagavan is the Lord of the universe, most Sundar being. So he is already beautiful. Most beautiful being in the world. But is Kapi, he is a monkey. And if you ask people, do you want monkey face? They say no. Even though we say Hanumanji is beautiful and all, people may sing and you sing Hanuman Chalisa and you glorify Hanumanji and they are so beautiful and this and that. But if you ask, you want face like Hanumanji? You want monkey face? Anybody? They don't want. So on the one hand we say he is beautiful, but if we have to get a face like that, so there, that first half, you can understand how the second half is Sundar, because it's Ram. How first half is Sundar? Because that word itself, that word itself, Sundar means Su under. Su under means Sushtu under, means whose inside is beautiful. So beauty, in the first half of Sundarkand, beauty is referring to not outer beauty, but inner beauty. And that is the most important thing. Inner beauty. In today's world, the world only rewards outer beauty. See what kind of ulta world we live in. This world is totally upside down. And this is one of the features of Maya. One of the features of Maya is we see everything upside down. Please understand that. Everything in our life is seen upside down. I'll give you an example. When we wake up in the morning, and you look at the sun, this is the first thing we are seeing in the morning now. When a person wakes up and he opens his eye, we say, the sun is rising. That first statement, first observation, first conclusion, that itself is wrong. Because the sun is not rising. I am turning like that, isn't it? So I am turning, but I am saying the sun is rising. So the very first thing in the morning is ulta. And the feature of Maya is like that. It makes every other thing in our life. See, I am deathless. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purana. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. But all of us think, well, I will die. I am birthless also. And we go on thinking, my birthday is coming up. I am wondering what I will get for my birthday. What present people will give me and all. And then the time comes and everybody forgot. Sorrow like anything. That's all because I am thinking I was born on such and such day. When really I was not born. I was somewhere else in the world, isn't it? All of us were somewhere there in the world before we came here. Deathless, birthless. So every thought, and see, that is this upside down existence manifests through all our actions and thoughts and all our habits and everything. So you see, everybody in this country is talking about being healthy, and everybody, this country is the most junk food in the whole world. So we want to eat junk food and be healthy. How it will happen? It's an amazing thing. We want peace, but do everything to destroy peace. Ulta, I tell you, everything. And it starts on the first thing in the morning. So it is like this, life is like this. This is the feature of Maya. Maya causes this thing. So there's here where inner beauty should be rewarded, only outer beauty is rewarded. What is the most important thing in life? Inner beauty, not outer beauty. So that who's under inside is really beautiful. And the thing which makes the inside beautiful is bhakti. See, I may have so much of other things, but until I have real bhakti, real devotion, real love, the inside will not become beautiful. Otherwise, quickly you see, a person who has a lot of gyan, he always looking for some opportunity to show that gyan. And if anybody says any comment, he'll correct. No, it's not correct like that. I'll tell you how it is correct. He wants to show his gyan. So that's not beauty inside. But bhakta, all the time, is always looking, because he sees Ram. See, Tulsidas, he writes a nice, you will be knowing. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Sometimes Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Siya Ram mein सब जग जानी, करऊ प्रणाम जोरी जुग पानी। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम, बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम, बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम, बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम। Tulsidas is a very famous line you was doing. Siya Ram main sab jagat jani. I know that everything is Ram, This whole world is Ram. Therefore, karau pranam, chori jugapani. Put my hands together and I do salutations to the whole world. So this is the realization of a bhakta. Tulsidas is a bhakta, he's writing. You see? This is the realization of a bhakta. He does salutations to every atom in this universe. He reveres and worships everything in the universe. So bhakta reaches that state. And so he sees his Lord in all things and worship all things. And therefore, he could never have hatred and enmity or any such thing for any creature or any being in the world. That is the most beautiful state which is being described. And that has to be on the inside of a person, not on the outside. So this Sundarkand is called as Sundar because the inside of that bhakta is the most beautiful. He loves Bhagavan and he sees his Bhagavan in all things. And he has reverence and love for all things. So Sundarkand is called like that because the inside of Hanumanji is beautiful and the relationship between he and Bhagavan that is there, and satsang is there. These are the most beautiful things in the world. Satsang is that which really transforms your personality from one thing to the next. I have, over the years, being with Gurudev and coming all these years, I concluded that very firmly. All is Gyan, Karma, this, that, nothing will transform our personality like satsang. And so wonderful satsang is going on in Sundarakand. Beautiful satsang going on there. And we'll see as we come to that point. Okay, so now, how this Sundarkand starts and where it starts, I tell you. Bhagavan Shri Ram in Balkan, he's born there. At the end of Balkan, he gets married and everything. In the beginning of Ayodhya, he comes back to Ayodhya. And then Kaikai now made this big plot, this, that. Kaikai and Manthara. Of course, that started with the Devatas. Devatas went and influenced Saraswati. Saraswati came and influenced that Manthara. Manthara went and influenced that Kaikai. And that Kaikai caused this whole upset. And Bhagavan Shri Ram is banished to the forest and all. In that whole story, also you have to think many things. You know, one of the most wonderful teaching in that, what I just told there, please remember this for your life. In the final analysis, it appears as though Kaikai was responsible for the exile. But always remember, the world is so structured, the universe is so constructed and structured, that the immediate cause of something is not the only cause. Things have a string of causes. For anything in your life, that person who you say caused it, that person caused me to get fired. Let us say. This man caused me to get fired. Please remember, he was only the final cause. That was a string of causes. First thing. Second thing, that string ends up with you only. Because Jo jasa karai so tasa phalu chakha. As we sow, so shall we reap. So that person caused me to get fired. Really that thing started with me only. Please remember this thing. So you see, Devtas went there and told Saraswati and came and influenced this one influenced one, and Bhagwan Ram is sent to forest. That just started with Ram. That is his plan. That is the way he will go to forest, Ravan kidnap him, and he bless all these sages and everything. His plan is like that. So the whole thing starts with even though he says she is responsible for his exile, it starts with him. That story tells that. So, in our life also, anything that happens, Tulsidaji writes very nicely. He says, Karma pradhana biswa kari rakha, jo jasa karai so tasa phalu chakha. That the most important preponderating law in this world is karma. Karma. Everything is governed by our karma. And he says in the next line, in Ayodhya-kand only, Kahu na ko sukh dukh kar data, nijakrit karma bhog saburata. Nobody is the cause for your joy or your sorrow. Joy or sorrow, others don't cause to us. We cause to our nijakriti cause it. So I'm telling, if the other person appears to be the source of my sorrow, that person, please remember, the source really is yourself, and that caused that, and you caused this caused that, like that, and it came to that person, and then it came back to you. It took a round. All our actions like that. So, in Ayodhya-kand, this happened. Then Bhagavan Sri Ram came to this Aranya-kand, they know. In Aranya, and in Aranya-kand start, he meets all of these sages, Atri Muni, Anusuya, all sages and sages in forest. The Jayanta story is there, and then the Ram Kita is there, very nice portion of that Aranya-kand. Then he meets also Shabari. In Aranya-kand also Sita ji is kidnapped. Aranya. It's in the forest. It is in the forest of Samsara. In the forest of Samsara, the Jiva loses his association with Bhagwan. Sita ji becomes Jiva, Bhagwan Ram. They're together. But in the forest of Samsara, the Jiva gets so caught up with worldly things that they lose their touch with lose touch with Bhagwan, lose touch with reality, whatever way you want to put that, you see. So she, until that time, she had her eyes fixed on Ram. But once only she turned her eyes towards that day. And oh dear. She lost her day. Because she was looking at another day, isn't it? And it cost her dearly. So, in the forest of samsara, we turn our eyes towards the world. We turn our eyes towards all material things. And we forget. And अंत में क्या होता है? दुख. Sorrow like anything. That thing had no end. That sorrow ended only when the earth opened and she... Can you see that sorrow did not end in Lanka? After the war, that sorrow still did not end. That sorrow goes on and on and on. And you forget that primary relationship again and turn the other way. That happens in samsara, forest of samsara. And Kishkinda-kand, next kanda, Bhagavan goes in search of Sita ji. I mean, Bhagavan is always waiting for that jiva. But jiva is kidnapped by worldliness. Ravan represents worldliness. Kidnapped by worldliness. Get caught up in the samsara and all. And there, in that search, Bhagavan meets Hanumanji now, and in Kishkindakanda, very wonderful relationship develops there, and he meets a Sugriva, and he slays this Bali, and all that goes on in that Kishkindakand. And he takes the help now of Sugriva Hanumanji, and they go in search of Sitaji. This happens in the end of Kishkindakand. So all the monkeys have now gone all the way to the southern shores of India, and they meet there Sampati. Sampati told Sitaji is there in Lanka. Whoever has to see her, they have to go to Lanka. Now, while this discussion is going on, who will go to Lanka? Because Sampati told her, definitely she is there in Lanka. Who will go to Lanka? Now one monkey says, no, I can only jump halfway. I'll fall in the ocean, sharks will eat me. And then monkeys don't like water also. So everybody was scared. Angad said, I'll go all the way to Lanka, but I don't think I'll be able to come back. I'll not be able to return. That is also a very strange thing. Huh? Why Angad said he will be able to spring all the way to Lanka, but he don't think he'll be able to? There's a very wonderful reason for that also. Some stories there where Angad and Ravan's younger son, Akshay Kumar. Angad and Akshay Kumar, they were there in the same Gurukul. And that Akshay Kumar, that Angad used to always torment this Akshay Kumar. Angad used to poke him and torment him throughout that whole Gurukul time. And this Akshay Kumar used to complain to the Guru, but Angad never stopped. And when they were leaving Gurukul, that Guru gave a sharp to this Angad. He said, if ever again after this Gurukul, today you go your separate ways. He goes back there, you go back there. You go back to Kishkinda, he goes back to Lanka. If ever from today, if ever you come face to face with him, you will die. If you meet this Akshay Kumar any other time from after today, you will die. There was some sharp was there. So therefore, Angad said, I think I can go. But if I go there and I see Akshay Kumar, no comment. And the other thing is, when Hanumanji went there first he killed his Akshay Kumar. He first removed his Akshay Kumar and then came back. So that he cleared the path for Angad to go there. So stories are there like that in different places. Anyway, so now they are discussing. While discussing, a wonderful thing happens here at the end of this Kishkindakand. Tulsidas, let us chant this thing. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 जामवंत कहतो सब लायक राम जय राम जय जय राम बधाई किमि सब ही करनायक श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम पवन तनया बल पवन समाना ज्ञान निधाना श्री राम जय राम जय कठिन जग माही। श्री राम जय राम जो नहीं होई तात तुम पाही। श्री राम जय राम काज लगी तब अवतारा। श्री राम जय राम सुनत ही भयउ पर्वताकारा। श्री राम जय राम कनक बरन तन तेज बिराजा। श्री राम जय मानहु अपर गिरिन पर खाजा। श्री राम जय राम जय रघुराम जय सीताराम जय सीताराम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। कौन सो काज कठिन जग माही जो नहीं होई तात तुम पाही। Jamuan tells to Hanuman because they're discussing who will jump there, who will go, and everybody is telling I can only go this much, that much. Hanumanji is quiet, he's not saying anything. So Jamuan reminded him, and Hanumanji also has some sharp, that he'll forget all his powers until he's reminded by somebody. So Jamuan now reminds him that hey, you are the one who could spring over this ocean like nothing. Pavanatanaya bala pavana samana. Your power is so much like the wind, because you are the wind, the son of the wind. Pavan. Means what is the power of wind, You all know right now there's some storm going on in California and all, you know that. That wind, everybody have to run away. And he's the son of this wind god, So what great, the idea here is Jamuan is reminding Hanumanji of a power that is lurking in his own heart. And he's just sitting there, not cognizant of this power. So, throughout the Ramayana, please look for all of these things. That power is lurking in everybody's heart. Not only Hanuman. The power is lurking in every single heart. In everybody sits a Mahatma Gandhi. In everybody sits a Nelson Mandela. In everybody is sitting Abraham Lincoln. It's just that the power is there and nobody really evokes that power. Nobody really lifts himself to measure up to that power and to utilize it and become just there. And we feel too sorry for ourselves and all. We pamper ourselves too much. Great power is there lurking in everybody's heart to become anything. So, and Jamuan told him this thing, Hanumanji, Rama kaj lagi tava avatara. You were born to do the work of Bhagwan Shri Ram. Then all of us are born for this work of Ram also. We are born to do the work of Ram. When he heard this thing, oh, sunatahi bhayav parvatakar, he became like a mountain. He rose up into the sky. He stood up to the challenge. See, this is the first thing we should do. Stand up to the challenge. Then we'll see what the challenge is. First, stand up. No, first we go and we check there, First let me see. we are overly cautious and all. And we overly cautious people acquire nothing in life. I tell you. Overly cautious. That's why all the great heroes in life, they were daring people, isn't it? You have to be? Yes. Overly cautious. Overly cautious is a sign of pessimism. Caution is okay. Don't become foolhardy or anything. Caution is okay. But that daring spirit should also be there. That's why the Upanishad tells us, Utishta Jagrata. The Upanishad also gives a nice indication. Like, what is that? Stand up and wake up. Which one you do first in the morning? First we wake up and then stand up. So what the Upanishad is telling? stand up, Utishta. Then, Jagrata, wake up. It shows some sort of urgency. I have to take up the child, take the bull by the horns. Yes. So, this challenge and all, he rose into the sky like a mountain. Now we will see. Tell, what to do now? Like that. That kind of spirit we should have. We will conquer the world. See Robin Hood. Even though we don't condone what he was doing, but I'm telling the spirit. You should see the spirit. It should be like that. First we stand up to that challenge. And then he heard these inspiring words of here Jammat is Guru. Jammat is playing role of Guru. Guru awakens that power, that might, majesty, greatness. Guru awakens that thing in us. Inspires us. Hanumanji stood up to that challenge, and now Sundarkand starts. See, before that, he was not doing anything, sitting there quietly. But the words that rang in his ears, and these are the words, Rama kaj lagi tava avatara. You were born to do the work of Ram. Rama kaj means the work of the Lord. That is called seva. That's why Sundarkand is ushered in by Kishkindarkand. But the bhakta, when he is ready to do the work of the Lord, that is the most beautiful thing. Because I tell you, every single individual, we owe everything we have to Bhagwan. So therefore our life is to be given to Bhagwan. I ask very simple question wherever we go. See, we are sitting, all of us successful in our different areas, right? Some successful engineer, doctor, lawyer, teacher, whatever we are in. All of us are successful in that thing. I want you to tell in your success, and even right now where you are sitting, right? One thing on your personality right now that you created yourself. If you could name one thing, it would be a great thing. Then I'll have an example to tell in my next satsang. If you could tell me one thing, you see, your clothes, your shoes, your glasses, your purse, your money, your credit card, your cloth, anything you have it right now with you, jewelry, tell me which thing you made. First, all the things which is in my possession, I'm not a watchmaker. I don't know how to make watches. Somebody says, no, Swamiji, I have a sewing machine at home. I sewed my own clothes. Right? That's why you made the cloth. You didn't make the cloth. You made the thread. We didn't make the thread. So in our possession, one single pin also we cannot say I made. Okay, forget that. Body. This body made out of trillions of cells now, right? Atoms, electrons, protons, neutrons, this, that. Which one you made? You can make a cell. You can make atoms and electrons and all. Then what we made? Absolutely nothing. When I say absolutely, I mean absolutely. Absolutely. No. Swamiji, I invented this thing. And I was the one who initiated that thing. We will claim sometimes in our life. And there is no such thing as invention. Invention is only stealing from the mind of Ishvara and taking credit. Invention means that thing is already there in the mind of Ishvara as in an unmanifest, avyakta roop it is called. That is present in the mind of Ishvara in avyakta roop. Right? And Ishvara has also given us this mind. Because you did not make your mind. Na? Sometimes we make up our mind, we say. But we are all born with a mind already, isn't it? We are born with a mind. And how this mind is working, Bhagavan describes very nicely in Bhagavad Gita. Prakritehe kriyamanani Gunai karmani sarvashaha. Bhagwan Prakriti is making our mind work. Without our Prakriti, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, this mind also cannot work. So this mind works, and who is making it work? Bhagwan, through his Prakriti. Makes this mind work and catch the idea from Ishvara's mind, from Bhagwan's mind, and then makes the thing happen. And we say, I invented it. I gone patent. All of it belongs to Ishvara, Bhagwan. So really we take credit now. So now, why I'm telling you all of this story, why I'm telling you all of these ideas from Shastras and all, is this. Everything I have, I owe to the Lord. Then based on that simple logic, everything that I'm doing in this life, I should be doing for. When that realization dawns and that person's life turns towards Ram Kaj, doing everything for Bhagwan, that thing is called as Sundar. His life has become the most beautiful life. Anything other than that is a selfish life. And selfish life is not beautiful. Selfish life is very ugly. Very, very ugly thing. And all the ugliness in the world comes because of selfishness only. You see. Any ugliness you see in this world comes because, means all the bad things are going on in the world. All is rooted in selfishness. All the ugly situations we call them. All selfishness only. But when that person has become selfless and is doing only for Prabhu, and this is what Gita is teaching. So Hanumanji is demonstrating. Gita teaches, Hanumanji is demonstrating that. So now when this Jamwant reminded him, oh, pray, he rose up like this. Now I am going to do this work of Ram. And this Sundarkand in the beginning, he tells all his other fellow monkeys and all, you all please bear without me, stay some time without me, I am going towards this Lanka to do the work of Ram. No, I have to tell you one more thing before Hanumanji goes. What is the one more thing? See this. He goes there and he meets Sitaji eventually, the story you all know. And he tells a very nice line. He says, Ma, he tells to Sitaji, Ma, Ava Krita Kritya Bhayam. Now I have become Krita Kritya. Krita Kritya is a Sanskrit terminology. You'll take all our Shastras and all everywhere. Krita Kritya means I have done what I was supposed to have done in this life. I mean, there is nothing else to do. And that one thing is really to get Bhagavad Darshan for all of us, for our purposes. It means enlightenment, realization. That is the thing that we are all meant to do. When a person reaches that stage, he's in the Shastra, he's called as Krita Kritya. Kritam Kritya. Krityam means he has done what has to be done and nothing else to do. You know, Hanumanji got darshan of Bhagwan Ram in Kishkindakand. But he never said, I am Krita Kritya. When he goes to Lanka and he gets darshan of Sita Maya, then only now he says, I am Krita Kritya. The idea is this. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a wonderful, I am trying to make connections for you in Shastra, so when you are studying, you will know all of these things. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a wonderful line in the second chapter, you would have heard it. Ashantasya kuta sukham. It means for the person who doesn't have shanti, where is their sukha? The question is being asked. If you don't have shanti in your life, there is no such thing as sukha, happiness. In other words, what Bhagavad Gita means to say, or Bhagwan Ram is telling Arjuna there, Bhagwan Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna there, that shanti and sukha, they are one and same. If your life has become absolutely peaceful, you will be the happiest person in the world. And if your life is not peaceful, say bye-bye to happiness. There is no happiness. Peace has to dawn. Your life will be happy. That's great. Bhagwan Shri Krishna's message there in Gita. No. This Rama and Sita, they represent these two aspects of the self. In Vedanta, Atma Bodha and all, if you have studied, really, Rama is Atma. Atma Ramo, Shanti, Sita. Rama is Atma. Sita is Shanti. So she is the Shanti of the Atma. Sita is the Shanti of the Atma. So if Hanumanji gets darshan of Ram, but he doesn't get the Shanti, his journey is not complete, isn't it? If we get Bhagavad Darshan, we have to also get the Shanti. Therefore he doesn't say that I am Krita Kritya. My journey is over. No. He has to get darshan of Bhagwan, but he also has to get the Shanti of that. So therefore, he goes in search of Sitaji. That is one thing. Second thing I have to tell you now. In this journey to getting this Shanti, we have to cross over this samsara. And samsara is Ashanti. Samsara is... to get Shanti, you have to cross over all Ashanti, isn't it? It means you have to learn to deal with all of this Ashanti. Because everywhere you turn is Ashanti. So if we don't learn to deal with it, we will never get Shanti. So now, as he is going to leave India here and he is going to go to Lanka, on the way he meets all of these different obstacles. Wonderful obstacles. And he has to overcome, means deal, respond. This is a better word. He has to respond to all of these obstacles appropriately. And every obstacle you'll have to respond differently. Everything is not the same. And please understand one more thing. People ask, why does Bhagavan put all these obstacles in our life? Why didn't he just make the path easy for us? Put this obstacle, that obstacle, every step. And some people, they say, Swamiji, my life is only a string of obstacles only. And I think Bhagavan gave me the wrong end of the stick. He always gave me the hard thing, and make other people's life easy and this and that. But I tell you one thing. Please pay attention to this. Obstacles in life are meant to make us stronger and worthy for the goal. I have to be worthy for that goal. If you take molten gold and you pour it into a plastic jar, what will happen? Plastic beaker. You pour molten gold. What will happen? You have to get nice stainless steel beaker, isn't it? So, that Paramarthik Drishti, that supreme darshan, if it is going to come, that person has to be the worthy vessel also. That vessel has to be first prepared. Don't go to the market and buy a plastic beaker. Go to the market and buy a nice stainless steel beaker so you can pour. So that Paramarthik Drishti, Bhagavad Darshan, is held to be such a great thing. If the person is not ready for that, it will not come. So the obstacles are put in our life so that we will make ourselves worthy and fit for that Bhagavad Darshan. You don't take, you have $20 million to invest. You don't take the $20 million which you have to invest and go and give it to a beggar on the street, a street bum. You please invest this thing for me and give me dividend in 1 year. Dividend, you will get nothing, not even the 20 million. What do you talk about dividend? Isn't it? He has to be worthy of that. So, the obstacles are put there to make us strong, to make us worthy, to make us fit. That's why in Sanskrit language, in Gita also, Bhagavan mentions this word called as adhikaritva. Adhikaritva means fitness. Adhikar. I have to be in adhikar. Fit for that. So one man was sitting in the park. I'll show you. He was sitting on a park bench. And in front of him there, he saw a butterfly coming out from a cocoon. So one wing had already come out. And that butterfly was struggling for that other wing to come out from that cocoon, you know. So he felt so sorry for this bechara, poor thing. Look. He's struggling too much. So he opened that cocoon and allowed the other wing to come out. Because he was struggling too much, this butterfly was struggling too much. So then he waited for the butterfly to fly away. He realized after a few minutes the butterfly was not flying away. Meanwhile, around, some other butterflies, they were coming out from their cocoon and they were flying away. So he waited, maybe I have to wait a little, maybe this fellow is a bit weak yet. I'll wait some more time. That butterfly never flew. So some other man came and he said, "What are you looking at?" He said, "I just helped this fellow to come out from that cocoon, but he's not flying." That other man told, "You did such a disservice to that butterfly. Now his whole life he'll not be able to fly because of what you did. You think you were helping, but in the struggle to come out from that cocoon, that wing developed strength. The other wing had struggled and come out, and it developed strength to fly. You helped this wing and you thought you were helping. You opened the cocoon, but this butterfly did not have an opportunity to struggle. And because it didn't have an opportunity to struggle, that wing did not develop enough strength. And because the wing did not develop enough strength, for the rest of his life, he will not be able to fly." So if you think that there is nothing worthy in struggle, there is nothing worthy in the obstacles, there is nothing worthy in all of these difficulties that we face, actually it is wrong thinking. It is those obstacles and all difficulties that we face in life that make us fit and worthy for soaring to the heights of Bhagavad Darshan. And so when Bhagavan Shri Krishna was leaving, he asked Kunti, "Ma, tell me what I can do for you before I go." Kunti said, "Prabhu, you give me sorrow every day in my life. Because I found out that only those days when you gave me sorrow, those days I remembered you. Those things, difficulties and sorrows and misery in life, please remember they are put there specifically by the Lord to make us grow, to make us get Bhagavad Darshan, become worthy for Bhagavad Darshan." So now Hanumanji is going to go to Lanka and he's going to face all of these obstacles. And I will tell you as we go along, we'll see them now. So if you have, crossing over this samsara, we must face all of these obstacles and we must respond to them appropriately. And if we don't, our journey will not come to an end. We have to keep going on. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Ihe samsari bahu dustari. They are very difficult to cross this samsara. So crossing over this ocean now is symbolic of crossing over the ocean of samsara. And expect the difficulties, expect the obstacles, and not only expect them, welcome them, wait for them. Let's see now how I'm going to overcome this obstacle. Like that kind of spirit you should have. Oh, I'm going to wake up in the morning, another day. Bhagavan, I don't know how I'll survive. And one man, he fell down on a banana peel and he broke his foot. And for 2 months he was at home with broken foot, broken leg. Then after 2 months they took out a cast and he again went for his morning walk. I saw another banana peel on the road. Oh, Bapre, again I'm going to fall down now, look. Silly thing, isn't it? Why so pessimistic and all? No, look for the obstacles and wait for them. And they will make us strong and worthy. Now this is just before Doha number 1. You all know, people, I only have 5 days. I cannot take whole of Sundarkand like that, you know. I'll not be able to finish all chopais and all this. But I tell which numbers we are doing. In order to finish the whole thing, I will need 2 months. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. Jalanidhi Raghupati Dut Vichari, Jai Jai Nath Hoi Shamhari, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. पुनि कीन प्रणाम राम काज कीने बिनु मोहि कहाँ विश्राम सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरण सीताराम सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरण सीताराम. Hanumanji going on. He both Tulsidaji describes some chaupai before. It's very nice. I must tell you that also. Bar bar Raghubir Sambhari. How he lives? Tulsidaji is describing. Again and again he remembers Ram. He remembers the Ishta Devata Ram. It means put God first. In everything we do, put God first. And we put him last. After we get into trouble only. Oh Prabhu, what happened? That time. When we get into trouble. बार बार रघुबीर संहारी तरकेउ पवन तनय भारी जेहि गिरि चरण देहि हनुमंता चले सुगा पाताल तुरंता. Hanumanji climbed up on a mountain there and remember Ram, and he pressed down on that mountain and bolted towards Lanka. Bolted out towards Lanka. It means whatever job we are taking up, we take up that thing with zeal and zest and enthusiasm and power. You don't, how we talk, you know. Okay. I'm going, I don't know. Whether it will happen or it will. No. I think when you take up like you fail from the beginning itself, isn't it? When you take up any work like that, from beginning itself you'll fail. We take up that thing with yes, strength, power, determination, zest, enthusiasm, you know, like that. He tells the other monkeys who are there, he tells a very nice line. He says, Hoi hi kaj moi harasha viseshi. Hoi hi kaj. This work will be done. Don't put it, take it up half-heartedly and like that. This Sundarkand is so beautiful from so many angles actually. It talks about power, about grandeur, about greatness, about taking up work and having such confidence in Ram that that thing will never ever fail. So Shraddha in that Ram. Bhagavan will make this thing happen. Like that, huh? Hoi hi kaj, mui harasha, I am happy. I have a special joy in my heart because I know I am doing that for Ram. I have a special joy in my heart. I know this thing will happen. And so he bolted out there like that. That's what we take up and take up that work like that. Not dhire dhire. I don't know what will happen. Lack of faith and confidence and everything. Now there's one more line there. I must tell you that. How he takes up, how he bolts up. Tulsidaji. No, see, Tulsidaji also will not write any word uselessly, you know. Please pay attention to this Tulsi Ramayana. Not one word is written uselessly or out of place. Amazing how he has structured every line. He said, Jimmy amogha raghupati karabana ehi bhanti chale Hanumana. He bolted out like an arrow of Bhagavan Shri Ram. Log कहते हैं कि this is the first arrow Bhagavan sent to Lanka. And one arrow burned down whole of Lanka. Can you imagine? When he comes. So anyway, he bolted out like an arrow. And I want you to reflect on that a little bit. He bolted out like an arrow of Bhagavan Shri Ram. See how many qualities of an arrow we can learn from. One is, when that arrow leaves the bow, that arrow never stops until it reaches the target. That arrow doesn't stop midway and scratches his head and I wonder if I should go there. And then gets scared and no, I go back. So his first quality. No stopping. Second thing is, the arrow doesn't go here, go there, and then go there. We do that, isn't it? We get distracted here, I was taking one group, just now in October, I'm taking another group to India. So often I take a group with me. So I was taking one group, we went to that Vaishnav Devi, not Vaishnav Devi, Jwalamukhi in Himachal Pradesh. So we are going uphill like this. And there's 50 people following. I'm in front. So from 50, 2 went to some sari shop. Another 2-3 went to some chai dukan there. Another 2-3 went to some jewelry shop there. And then some went to see some murti this and when I reached there, I was alone. What is our goal? Our goal is to get darshan of Jwalamukhi, isn't it? Devi. But the path is here, but just like this, we get so distracted by so many things. The arrow doesn't go here, there. Though I saw one funny cartoon, you know the cartoon and all, what you call Pink Panther, and there's some funny cartoon there. This fellow had an arrow in that bow, but an arrow, 90-degree arrow. Not a straight arrow. And when he released it, that thing went around the house and came and stuck him in it. You see funniest things in cartoons actually. But I tell you, even if that arrow at 90 degrees, it will still not go like that. Only in cartoon it will go like that. It will go straight. Anyway, so first quality goes straight. I mean, it never stops, first quality. Second quality is goes straight. It doesn't go here and there. One man went to buy a horse, So he took his dog with him. The dog was following. When he bought the horse, he was riding the horse coming home, and the dog was walking also. So when he reached back home, he tied the horse out front. And this horse was very happy and swishing its tail. And the dog was totally kaput. Totally exhausted. The dog was lying down in front of the house. Like, you know how dogs. Then that wife came out. She said, "What happened? This horse, you rode on him. He was carrying a heavy load also. Right? And he's so good and fresh, not tired and everything, not exhausted. And this dog, he was not carrying anybody. And he's so fatigued." Then the husband told a nice thing. Yes. From that market where I bought that horse is only 5 kilometers. Right? So the horse walked 5 kilometers with me on his back. But that dog was following and coming. So if he heard some sound in the bush there, he'll run there. If he heard some sound on that side of the bush, he'll run there to see what is that. So this horse did 5 kilometers, dog did 10 kilometers. Because he's going this side, that, and by the time he reaches there, of course he'll be tired and burnt out and everything. So don't be distracted on this journey, on this path. Like Jimmy Amogha Raghupati Karapana. I see Tulsidas sticks that word in there, Amogha. Amogha means unfailing. Unfailing. It means if I have Shraddha in Ram, if I have Shraddha and faith in Bhagavan, I can never ever fail. There is no such thing as failure when we have Shraddha in Ram. Amogha Raghupati Karapana. Now, one other very wonderful thing about arrow. The arrow is totally surrendered to the will of the wielder of the bow, isn't it? That arrow doesn't say, hey, you are shooting me north, please don't shoot me north, I want to go south. The arrow ever says, if the wielder of the bow decides that the arrow should be shot north, the arrow is going to go, because he's at the mercy of the wielder of the bow. So Hanumanji lives like an arrow means what? He lives at the mercy of Ram. Ram sent him in this direction and he's going in this direction. It means what? One who is serving Ram, he has to be totally surrendered to that Ram. You can't say, I want to go here or I want to go there. And then people don't practice this simple. When sometimes the prasad comes, the thali. No, I don't want that thing. Give me this. And he pushed that prasad aside and he takes some other prasad. All sorts of things we see. Anyway, where is prasad buddhi? Where is surrender to Bhagwan? Simple thing, Bhagwan sent this prasad to me, I'll take that only. Total surrender. So the arrow is an epitome of surrender. Wherever the wielder sends me, I will go there. Jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rakhiye. Whatever condition and see, Ram has put me to do this work, in other words. See, all of us, he has given different work now. He has given all of us different work. Yes. So there, Prabhu has given me this work. Let me do it properly for him. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. Do it for the Lord. And that is the only thing worth doing, because I got everything from the Lord only. So my life is owed to him. So he left now like an arrow of Bhagwan Shri Ram. So when you see simple line, Jimi Amoghar Pati Karabana, Ehi Bhati Chale Hanumana. He went like this. All of these messages are tied they're so buried so nicely into these words and all. Now, other thing. As he's going now, Hanumanji bolted out like this and he's going to the sky. No. Jalanidhi Raghupati Duta Vichari. The ocean, he thought, Raghupati Dut, Hanumanji is a Dut of Raghupati, messenger of Ram, Sevak of Ram. He's going. Maybe I should do something also to help him. But what the ocean will do? So inside the ocean, there is one mountain was living there. His name was Mainak. So he told that Mainak, you come out. Sagar told, you come out and help this Hanumanji. Whenever the work of Ram is going on, people want to help, Say other sevaks want to also help. That's why I say work of Chinmaya Mission Columbus is going on. People come to help. That's what we should be doing. Coming out to help. So Sagar told Mainak, you come out. Help him. So Mainak came out now from under the ocean. But now, the people ask, what is this? Ocean is talking to mountain. Mountain is coming up. What, you Hindu people, you don't have anything better to talk or what? Ocean talking, mountain coming up. Mountain said yes. Please don't, you see, I'll tell you something. One of the other things about, remember I started off by telling you how we see everything ulta, everything upside down. This is one of the biggest problems, and Shastras is there. Hindu Shastras actually in this regard is best. To make us not pay attention to the unnecessary thing and pay attention to the necessary thing. We usually, see, when somebody gives you a present, right? Do you go on thinking, oh, what a nice bow. What is it, bow? It must have taken so much time to make this bow. What a nice ribbon. What color? I wonder where they got from China or what? How nice gift paper, and this box is so symmetrical. Anybody thinks? Nobody thinks. Quickly! We want to see what is? Yes! Who pays attention to bow and ribbon and box and this and that? We want to see what is inside there. So in the very same way, you see, I was sitting on Ganga Par like this in Banaras. I used to stay in Banaras for some time. So I saw a monkey. He was playing with a coconut. big coconut, like, just throwing it on. His monkey was rolling over and playing with that coconut. Then one sadhu was coming, and he saw this, good coconut. His monkey is playing with this only. So he took it, he had a stick, Dandiswami. He took that stick and drove away that monkey, and he took up that coconut, and there was a panwala sitting there. He took the coconut by panwala and borrowed his machete, and he opened that coconut. He gave some to panwala. He gave to me also. I was sitting there, and he ate. Now see, this is different between monkey and sadhu. Different between monkey and sadhu is what? Monkey plays. He doesn't know that there is something so nutritious hidden inside that coconut. But sadhu knows there is something so nutritious hidden inside. All of these stories, they are like coconut. And the monkey, he only plays with it. The wise one, he knows that inside the story, there is something nutritious, something very valuable and nutritious is there inside the story, So you don't take it. Oh, some story, the Kak Pushundi, one bird talking to Garud, another bird. They're all bird brain or what? Don't pay attention to the wrapper. Don't pay attention to the bow, the shell outside. Pay attention to the kernel inside. Like Gurudev used to say, Nachiketa went to Yamalok, and Yamaraj gave him 3 boons, and he asked for this, and when the whole thing is over, then one student asked in the class, but Guruji, how did Nachiketa reach there? That means you are really not interested in the nutritious kernel inside. You are interested in the shell outside. So this Hanumanji coming, Sagar told Mainak, you go and have it. Then Mainak jutted out from the ocean like this and told Hanumanji, you rest for a while, and then you have a long journey, And Hanumanji gave a nice reply. This is the first obstacle. So what is this obstacle? What is this reply? And what all not? We'll see that tomorrow. Okay. All right. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.